Peter Bennett, president of Alpha Sigma Rho. Are you one of our sorority sisters?
Who do you think I am? A fairy godmother?
No. But you're certainly everything I could have wished for.
Peter, everything's all set up.
Wonderful, Scott.
You're in your big brother fraternity. Don't you think you ought to show a little respect?
I'm showing more than respect, honey.
Listen, why don't you and I go on upstairs and exchange phone numbers? Scott, take over, will you?
Hey, who's she? Oh, that's one of the new pledges. They call her Marty.
So who's the Zorro impersonator in the purple cape at the bar staring at me?
Ah, that's Peter Bennett, president of the fraternity house. He lives all year for Hell Night. This is when he really puts it to the pledges.
Can I resign now?
No, you don't. We got a deal. I've already given you the best room in the house, not to mention the car and the clothes. You're not quitting now. Mingle, dear. Mingle.
Mystery Bob.
Look what just walked in.
Not my type. See that? Now that's my type.
Isn't it about time to start the initiation?
Nah, it's still early. Look at Sikowski. He hasn't even barfed on the trophy case yet. And the front windows still aren't broken. Well, I guess it's time to get the show on the road. Let's go. Welcome to Garth Manor. In order to be a member of Alpha Sigma Rho, one has to do what? Mr. Reed?
To stay in Garth Manor one night, Mr. President.
Very good, Jeff. And why is this night so special? Miss Dunsmore.
Because 12 years ago, Raymond Garth murdered his family here and then committed suicide.
And is there something funny about a man murdering his family and then killing himself?
I'm just a little tipsy.
I hope you didn't bring any other intoxicants in here with you.
Oh, of course not.
Well, just to make sure, I'll have to personally search you before we leave.
It'll be a pleasure.
Shall we go?
In 1850, Virgil Garth built this mansion with the gold that was pouring out of his mines. Since then, 4 generations of Garths have lived here, until 12 years ago. The last people to live in the house were Raymond and Lillian Garth, and their 4 children. Now, Lillian Garth was a hopeless simpleton. About the only thing she was good for was childbearing, and she didn't turn out to be too hot at that. First child she bore, Raymond, was a boy. A Mongoloid boy they called Morris. Now, Morris brought great sorrow to the Garths, and they immediately set about to have another child. And they were soon cursed with a baby girl, Suzanne. Now, she was so hideously deformed that it was impossible to tell from looking at her if she was male or female. To her father's immense disgust, she used to drag herself around the house with the help of her one good leg. Now, the Garths were very fanatical about their privacy. They didn't want to have to be dependent on anyone else, so they isolated themselves up here. That is why they never put in any modern utilities. There's no gas, no electricity, and no phone. So again, they tried to have a child, and within the year, the Garths added Margaret. But unfortunately, it soon became apparent that poor little Margaret could neither hear, nor speak, nor see. But good old Ray was determined, and he decided to have one last go at it. So Lillian got pregnant again, and she carried the child for 10.5 months, until finally she delivered a little gork named Andrew. Andrew never spoke a word in his first 14 years. He just made these grunts and groans like the sounds of wild animals. Now, Raymond Garth lived isolated in this house for 14 years with this freak show until he couldn't stand it anymore. 12 years ago, he assembled the entire family in the parlor. And then he took his dear wife, Lillian, and he strangled her to death. Then he took the Mongoloid son, Morris, and he bashed out what little brains he had with the fireplace poker. Then he took the deformed little Suzanne and he impaled her with the same poker. Then he took the deaf, dumb, and blind little Margaret and he slit her throat. And then Raymond Garth got a rope and hung himself to death. Ooh. Leaving the cruelest punishment of all to his 14-year-old gorked-out son, Andrew, who was forced to witness the slaughter of his entire family. Now, when the police arrived, they discovered a note written by Raymond Garth describing the entire gruesome act. But strangely, they only discovered 3 dead bodies, and young Andrew was nowhere to be found. Oh, they searched the house as thoroughly as they could, but still only came up with 3 corpses. Andrew is still believed by some to be living somewhere within this house. Come in. Now, you 4 may sleep anywhere you want in the house, either separately or otherwise. But remember, you may not leave the confines of the estate. That shouldn't be too hard. You'll find the gate is virtually impossible to climb over. Any questions? Now, the only way out of Garth Manor is to shoot your way out. Don't use it unless you have to. And don't try climbing the fence. You might cut your nuts off. We'll see you 4 at dawn. About 6 hours. Have fun.
Wow, this place is pretty radical.
It is that.
You know, this would be a hot place to go hunting.
Hunting? Oh, I hate guns.
Yeah, but sometimes they come in pretty handy. Like one summer, I was camping out on the north shore of Oahu, and these locals used to come by every night and beat the crap out of us, you know? So listen to this. One day, we go down, we buy ourselves a shotgun, go down to the local bar, and really put the fear of God into them. Needless to say, we didn't have too many hassles after that.
So you guys really believe this story about old Raymond Garth and Gork Dad Andrew and all that?
No, Peter's full of shit.
You know, actually, I think there's some truth to that story. That guy Garth did kill his family here.
Oh, is that right? Well, let me tell you. If I meet a little Gork in there tonight named Garth, I'm gonna ask him for an extra pair of long underwear, because it's getting as cold as a hound's pecker in December out here.
I'll keep you warm, Wes.
The name is Seth, and you've got a date, you little beach bunny.